Attwood, episode 1.
How fancy is that? Season 2, episode 1. Glad we had this chat. Olivia bloody Attwood.
No pressure. Do you know what I mean?
No pressure on me. I'm like, Jesus.
Straight out the gates, first step.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. We have something in common.
Go on.
The Greatest Showman.
You hate it?
Fucking hate it.
Thank you.
It's the worst. I can't. I don't mind the odd musical in the theatre, but a musical, unless it's Grease, which is biblical.
Yeah.
The Greatest Showman started, and I was like, oh no.
Oh, thank you.
Tap me out.
Thank you.
Tap me out.
I don't know what it is. I have like an actual physical aversion to it. There's just a lot. It's a sensory overload, as they like to say on
It's
TikTok.
an ADHD, I think. Yeah. It's like, I like things, but this is too much.
Too much jazz hands. It's on the roof. There's a beard. There's dresses.
Yeah,
it's just there's so much going on. It's too many songs.
It's just too much.
It's just too much.
I don't care. I don't care. And also, he wasn't a great man, that Greatest Showman, was he? Didn't treat the circus people nicely. I was like, I didn't get
far enough into even.
Oh no,
know.
I didn't. I know the story, but you went one step further than me. You went to see it.
I think, that was one where we left really quickly. Yeah.
I didn't make that mistake. I'll wait till it came on Sky.
Well,
and I was
now,
like, nah.
It's a bit, that is a musical, so I should have known. But now, because there's quite a lot of what I call like sneaky musicals out there. So you've seen Joker 2 with Lady Gaga, is what they called like a sneaky musical. They didn't advertise it as a musical.
So there's a lot of singing.
But then luckily on Twitter and TikTok, people were saying there's song after song. So I thought, right, sidestep.
La La Land, no. Tap me out.
The only time I've ever not fancied Ryan Gosling.
I didn't even I got like maybe 5 minutes in, I was like, oh, fuck. I was on a plane. I was like, absolutely fucking not. I'll watch Gavin and Stacey for the 75th time.
Yes.
I just don't care. Put it away. The jazz hands and the...
Oh, it's just a lot.
In the theatre? Yeah, but even that, the seats are too uncomfy for women our size anyway.
And you're not allowed to go for a wee.
You can't move.
You can't do anything. Can't take your phone out.
Other than that, we love it.
Yeah.
Support the West End.
Also, kudos to having the talent. I don't have it.
For sure.
Good for you.
For sure.
I just, I'm not your consumer.
No. You don't like music gigs either?
Do you know what? There's the whole area of me that is a bit strange, and I don't know why I'm like this, but I have always just not been musical, not in tune with music. I'm not a complete weirdo. It's like obviously at a party or in a club or whatever, and I'm a big Ibiza girl. I love music in that sense, but I'm not like, someone said, who's on your playlist? Like, what playlist? Or what are you talking about? Yeah, I don't have like favourites, I've just never been connected
We bonded
to
over
music.
The Greatest Showman, but I'd have music before anything else.
Really?
Yeah.
You see, this for me across the board, I don't know what it is.
What's your thing then? What's your thing?
What is my thing? Do you know what? If you're talking about art forms, I'd say comedy.
Yeah.
Like that is like my thing, whether it's stand-up or it's, sketch comedy, whatever, satire. I really can watch people who are funny for hours, and consume it. And I love film. I have to say that me and my husband were big, we love the cinema. That's why I'm always checking that I'm not accidentally walking into a musical. Because I love films and, and theatre, but it's just, it's the singing side of things.
It's a bit too much.
Just too much.
Like the film version of Les Mis. Absolutely not.
Gosh, no.
Painful. No. You could do a documentary about, film and things you do like.
Yeah.
Tie it in with a day job.
That is a good... maybe they should just immerse me into musical theatre.
I would watch that. That would be fantastic. I would have that on.
I can't sing at all, as you can probably imagine. It's maybe where this comes from. I have no musical sort of bone in my body. I can't dance in rhythm or anything. And if I sing in the car, Brad's like, God, that is just bleak, isn't it? But I always said to my mum was like in agreement, I'm really glad that you can't kind of sing, because I would have been that kid that tried to become a singer. I would have gone to the X Factor 15 years in a row.
And she would have taken you because she loved you.
She would have taken me because she loved me. So it's like, it's really good that I just can't at all, because I didn't get to even pretend that was an option. Did
you get your interest in beauty from your mum?
Yeah, yes, 100%, yeah. My mum, apart from being, just very genetically blessed and beautiful herself, she was always, into skincare and looking after herself in that way. And, you know, I remember I always used to think her bathroom was like the Aladdin's cave of, you know, just like creams and lotions and potions and, like, you know, all of which we weren't meant to be touching, you know, because we were kids and we were like in there, my little grubby mitts. And she was the person that kind of educated me and my sister on looking after our skin, which a lot of, weirdly, as I've, you know, got older, I've now taken to practice. I mean, a lot of the stuff she told us in our teens and 20s, I was like, oh, please. You know, she's like, you know, protect your skin from the sun. I'd be like, oh, boring. And then here I am, 30, lasering off skin damage.
Well, wait till you're 55. Documentary Price of Perfection. I just want to talk about where we cross over. So a deep dive into sort of cosmetic surgery. What were you... I'm still astounded by it myself, but what were you most surprised about?
Gosh, I mean... where to start? The aesthetics industry in this country just being just an absolute free-for-all.
Unregulated.
Unregulated. Everyone's just having a go. People selling and doing treatments they know nothing about, and people buying and consuming treatments they also know nothing about. It's just, it's very strange when you see it firsthand, and both parties have no idea what they're injecting or being injected. You know, it's odd and it's scary. And I think also maybe I was ignorant to the effect it's had on really younger women. Like, you know, I'm talking like teens, like early 20s. I mean, even, you know, 15, 16, they're talking about Botox fillers. You know, they're seeing friends that have had fillers done by backyard practitioners, because it just wasn't a thing when I was that age. And I think I was naive because I'm not, you know, I don't have kids. I'm not around girls of that age. I think I was naive to how bad it is.
It's quite intense. It is astounding to me still that it's unregulated. I think the problem we're walking into is because I'm an ambassador for the British Beauty Council on the aesthetic side. And so when those conversations are happening with government, I'll be part of them. The problem is at the moment that we want people to be qualified enough to give the treatment. But at the moment, the doctors are trying to do this around everything so that they make all the money and leaving people who've been lasering for 25 years, who've got more experience than they'll ever have, might be cut out of it. So it's that, where do you find the balance of the qualification didn't exist when they trained, but they've been doing it for so long, they're pros at it. And the doctor's doing a money grab. Because a lot of people go to medical school, graduate, just get their MD, and they move straight into aesthetics without doing further training. You don't train in aesthetics when you're a doctor.
I mean, you're completely right. And, you know, you see cases of doctors and dentists, like you say, who aren't injecting on a daily basis, aren't using energy-based machines on a daily basis, also leaving people in terrible conditions. Because just because, like you say, they are a doctor doesn't mean that they have the hand-to-eye practice every single day in that particular thing. I think the problem with the unregulated and the non-medical side of it is that these people can disappear like ghosts. There's no license, there's no insurance. So when you do find yourself, you know, up shit creek and you try and go back and go, well, hold on, these people can just delete the Instagram page. They're renting a room sometimes and there's no chain you can follow. So from that side, I understand people, doctors and people that could be struck off for that kind of behaviour. I understand their frustration because they're like, well, hold on, we've got to pay all this and we've got to how to do all the paperwork and make sure we're accredited. And, you know, these guys just disappear and then people come to us for help when they're in some terrible conditions.
Did you get many people reaching out after that aired?
Oh, so many. I mean, so
upsetting
many.
when you're in the industry. It's just so unnecessary. Because the majority of people are doing really good work. And then it's these cowboys that come in, think they're going to make a quick buck, and just leaving people with damage.
The problem is, like, you know, anywhere you see economic boom and cash be made, it's going to always attract some people that are coming into it, say, for completely the wrong reasons. And if you just see it as something, oh, I could actually kind of, you know, take advantage of this situation, this demand, but, you know, their approach isn't ethical, whatever, that's where you get these people that they're not in it for the right reasons. And price of perfection, and I think, you know, throughout the episodes, we do sort of land on that mark. It's not actually meant to be an expose. It's not a watchdog. It's not a, you know, lifting the lid on the aesthetics world, because I'm very pro-cosmetics, like obviously pro-cosmetic surgery, pro all of that stuff. But it kind of, some of the episodes end up going that little bit away almost by accident, do you know what I mean? And then people were messaging me like in their hundreds saying they'd had these experiences, and I what can I do? I can't help all these people. But all we can do is to try and educate, so then someone else might not find themselves in that situation.
Are you fairly comfortable with the people you've got working on you now?
As in, who do my aesthetics? Yeah. Like, I only ever have my injectables by one woman, a doctor, Dr. Selena. I mean, I've done quite a lot of filming and podcasts with her. She's done my injectables for the last 5 years. And then just some of her really, like you say, they're not medics, but her very highly skilled and qualified technicians do lasers and the energy base and all that stuff. So very comfortable. I think also the thing that I'd say, and this was a narrative that I did get a little bit off the back of the documentaries, which I think is a complicated one. The response I had, and people listening to this probably would be saying the same thing. Well, it's okay for you because you've got the money to go and go to this person for this thing. So where do we land with injectables and lasers and stuff? Are they a necessity that just need to be made affordable, or are they not? Because how I look at it is like, would you rather just risk everything and go really, really cheap because you feel like you need it? But the problem is society has kind of made people feel like they need it. It's not like a choice or it used to be that thing that was reserved for, when I was younger, I thought it was just the only people in Hollywood would have that done. And then it's changing. And now it's everyone. And so then people feel like, well, I need this because this is what society told me I need. And so then they try to obviously do it by someone they can afford, and then sometimes, not always, but sometimes that ends badly. I get that as well. If I talk about it, I say you must go here and here, and they're like, well, it's okay for you, you can afford it, and I'm like, that's not the point. I'm trying to keep you safe. I always say if champagne is being served and it only costs you 50 quid to have your Botox, you should probably not be in that room. That's pretty, you would hope that would be pretty obvious, but it still needs saying, it would seem. And also I always say this, and if someone's offering you for free, if you've come off a TV show, if you've you've got a bit of a following, and a doctor or a nurse or whoever messages you and says, "Do you want?" That should be a big red flag. Really, if people knew, especially with surgeries, if people knew what it costs to put on a surgery, the theatre, the anaesthetist, if they're willing to outlay that money, this is just desperate. And you have to wonder why
you want to go somewhere where they expect you to pay.
But then again, the same would maybe be said. Well, it's all right for you but I've had offered free stuff. I could have taken free stuff 10 times over.
Always.
But it to me, it always just felt icky, and it also feels like, well, where are you? And I know so many people in this industry who obviously I won't name, who have taken freebies, and then if it does go wrong, you're in a really awkward position because you haven't paid. There's not a transaction history. What is the...
You can't go and sue them.
No. What's the protocol after that to try and get things done right? It's very messy.
Did you find, where did it sit in your... I hate the word journey, but I'm going to use it because it's...
same, but I use it all the time too. I do it on the documentary. Where did it sit
in your timeline?
Oh, come on.
In your timeline. Because Amber Gill's a friend of mine, and she was saying when she came out of Love Island, she went into Love Island with 20,000 followers and came out with 4 million. And it was only after that she realised she had ADHD, she was completely overwhelmed, and she back-footed. So she comes out a winner and everyone else is making all these deals and cashing in. And she said, and I couldn't understand how they were doing it. I couldn't cope with what was thrown at me. And she's kind of rejected the whole, this is what you're expected to look like and act like. She came out, she doesn't wear much makeup. So it pushed her in one direction where she's now really comfortably and authentically herself. When you came out, was there pressure that you were able to ignore, or did you put the pressure on yourself?
I think my experience with this is slightly unique because, one, for me, ADHD was diagnosed. I mean, it's a messy timeline, but it was mentioned it at the age of 16, then it was kind of dropped, and then someone mentioned it again when I was 18. I was officially diagnosed at 21-ish. So I knew about ADHD. I knew what was good for me and what was bad for me in terms of triggering those symptoms. However, at that time, I wasn't exactly focusing on doing the right things. But prior to Love Island, I was a commercial model. I was doing a lot of grid girl stuff. I was working for a lot of energy drink companies, going around doing the F1. And it was a very restrictive existence. We all had to look the same. We had to have the set nail colour, the set hair colour. There was one uniform size. It was a pressure.
One uniform size is like Brandy Melville.
Yeah, it was there was a pressure, but I mean, because I had been in it so long, it was not a pressure that I'm not going to lie and say that I don't think it had a negative effect on me very personally, because I think I just was very adapted to it and it was kind of like a water for ducks back. So coming out of Love Island, I did have the same experience in going in with like, you know, however many thousand followers came out on like 1 million. So that's very surreal. But I found the whole thing like quite freeing, because for the first time ever, it was like me as an individual and what I had to say people like cared about, which is a bit weird and a bit dangerous at first when you haven't got any fucking filter. And it was kind of exciting, and I think I adapted pretty well, you know. The hardest part for me coming out of that show was the relationship and trying to navigate that, and then that fell apart and that was just messy. But the actual post Love Island life, I don't know, I just felt kind of enjoyed it.
I mean, that's good.
Yeah.
It's not, you don't want it to be a negative experience, because you hear a lot of negativity from people who do things like that.
Do you know what? And I think, I feel very lucky that maybe I am more of a minority, in the sense that you hear so many people coming off the back of big reality shows, like you say, and they go through what they describe as the worst period of their life, and they feel so low and all that. And I just feel like Love Island just changed my life for the better. It opened all these doors. I went from living quite a restricted, kind of strange existence, you know. It really was. And like, you know, I was living out of a suitcase and I was just partying way too much, and I didn't think I really had that much to offer the world apart from the way that I looked. And coming out of Love Island, weirdly, which on paper should have the opposite effect, it made me feel like, okay, maybe I do have a bit more to offer than just standing in a bikini and, you know, waving, which is great. And I feel, you know, there's bad sides to every single job, of course, and we should all be able to recognise the negatives to any job. But I do have a hard time feeling sorry for myself or anyone in our industry. Like, we live the most amazing lives. Like, it's a very privileged place to be, and it's a very privileged place to be when you have a platform and people want to listen to you and they want to engage with you. I think that's so, how lucky can you actually be? And if you don't like it, you can get out of it. Yeah. You don't have to stay in it and keep telling everyone how much you hate it and how miserable you are. You can just go and do something else. I know it sounds a little bit callous, but I just think you have to hit the nail on the head with it a little bit.
I don't know. I find it all. It's weird, because when you talk about, you know, not having a filter and stuff, I get the same. I've had the same thing always. Like, you know, you're very opinionated, and I'm like, no, I'm just as opinionated as you are. I just voice more of them. You just say it. You know, and it doesn't necessarily. It's not always bad. It's not always a negative opinion. Yeah. It's just, I think there's this whole thing that, certainly my generation, which is, you know, definitely Gen X, is very, you know, we were be seen, not heard. And then that sort of started to lift as we became teenagers, but it was still very much, you know, speak when you're spoken to and all of that. So when I first came on social media in like 2009, something like that, and people would be like, oh, you're gobby. And I'm like, I just literally said I like that TV show. Like, if you think that's gobby, Jesus. Yeah. Wow, I'm in so much trouble. Is there a misconception about you that you're thick-skinned? Because a lot of times people will say things, and there's also the side of ADHD where we can take things really intensely personally, and people don't see that. I think they just think, oh, they're off, they're mad, you know, they've got all these opinions, but actually there'll be times where you're like, well, that is actually a bit hurtful.
In terms of being outspoken, you know, there's been a bit of a journey for me, because I think around Love Island time and on Love Island, you know, they always say it, confidence whispers and insecurity screams. And I think there was a little bit of a time where I was just talking for the sake of talking, you know? And like,
but how old were you at that point?
I was young. I was like 22, 23. And I was like, you know, I'm outspoken, but actually, like, you know, what could have been really good for me sometimes just to shut the fuck up. But now I would still say I'm outspoken, but there's a little bit more thought goes into what I'm going to say. And I don't just talk for the sake of talking. And you're right, with ADHD, there's a huge parallel between like hypersensitivity to criticism. I don't get it at all from social media or the press, that kind of criticism. I actually find that I cope quite well with that. For me, it's much more like if someone close to me, you know, if my family member or Brad or, you know, my agent, someone whose opinion I really respect is like unhappy with me or tells me, oh, you didn't do like that great a job on that, then I have to engage in my inner rationale to be like, you know, that's okay. Like people can say, you know, that you didn't handle something correctly. And I have to, you know, as I've got older, I've learned how to rationalise that and receive it and not, you know, not kind of fly off the handle, because that's what I used to do when I was younger, and I was a really sensitive kid. And because at school obviously I was completely hyperactive a lot of the time, and then I would be in my own little world, and then if a teacher would shout and be like, Olivia, I would jump, and then I'd burst out crying because I was in my own little world, and I got in trouble constantly. But what I would always say, and my mum would always say, is I never was like looking to get in trouble, but I was always in it. If something was going on, you know I was involved, but I'd be sort of just like hyper fixated on whatever was going on. I'd kind of forget that I was even breaking the rules. I wasn't breaking the rules for the sake of breaking the rules. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Does that carry through to work when you're on telly in terms of breaking the rules? Like if you're doing Loose Women, how did Loose Women come about, for starters?
How did Loose Women come about? I was a guest a couple of times. Do you know what, from their side, I don't actually really know. I was a guest a couple of times, and after one of the last times I was a guest, about a year and a half ago, a couple of the executive producers said, would you hang around and go for lunch? And we went for lunch, and they were like, how do you feel about having a go at being a guest panellist, they call it? Because, you know, on the show, they have had a lot of people come for a little stint. And
then they go.
So they never offer you, like, the gig. They never go, do you want to be a Loose Woman? They're like,
why don't you out?
Yeah. They like kind of just soft launch you. They're like, why don't you have a couple of shows? Let's see how you like it. Let's see how the viewers like you. Let's see how it all goes. Yeah. And I was like 100% like up for it. And I actually really was like, I've got nothing to lose here, because if the daytime, you know, viewers don't warm to me, or it just isn't a fit, or the women don't like me, you know, it's all good training. Like it's all good, you know, experience. Yeah, it's amazing. So I was up for it. And then, it just really... They said they weren't surprised at all, and I guess that's why they're the bosses and they know what they're looking for. But I guess I was surprised how quickly it just felt like I'd been there forever. Which is lovely. It's honestly,
because people
lovely.
are always trying to do a drama around the women on Loose Women, and like Den always says, there's no drama. We all get on. We can exchange words, but if it was men, no one would say a word.
It's that thing about we love, you know, women to be like at war with each other. It's so like exciting, and the media love it. I mean, this is not some line that ITV have like fed me. I have not seen conflict at Loose since I've been there, you know. So that's just my experience, and the women have a lot of fun with each other. Like it's naughty, it's silly. They're mates. Some of these women have worked together for like, you know, 20 odd years. They have like, they know each other inside out. And that's also like credit to them for making me feel so part of it, because I'm coming in there with friendships that have been existing long before I was even, you know.
And they're so funny as well. I mean,
funny.
When because through Denise, we went to see her at the Palladium, with the Loose Women tour at the Palladium. And from beginning to end, you're just laughing. And the audience, there's not many young people in the audience. No. It's all older people. And, you know, they swear, which obviously you can't do on telly. And Denise tells her dirty jokes. And you can see these old women with white hair pissing themselves, you know. And then when Janet came out on stage, I thought I was going to lose a kidney. She comes out and she's just, they're all, you know, they're all doing their jazz hands. And poor Christine's trying to rope, it's like herding kittens. And then Janet comes out and she's just like...
She just plays into that character.
Sits at the end, you know, and she's like, well, when I was with one of my, which one was it? One of my husbands. And they're all, it's just hysterical, but it's women getting along. And that whole place, the whole vibe was women enjoying other women.
It's very joyful.
It looks it.
Yeah.
Is there a plan for after Loose Women? What are you working on? What have you got? Like, are you going to do the documentary thing? Are you know, what makes you go, oh, I love doing this?
Like making telly, being part of television, whether that's a live format like Loose, or doing the documentaries, even being in the edit, it's just, and that's I think another reason why for me Love Island obviously has been such a positive thing, because I feel with what I'm doing right now, like this is exactly where I'm meant to be, what I'm meant to be doing, and I'm, you know, I could have, maybe would never have found it. Like the chance I wouldn't have if I didn't go on Love Island. So it's like, I feel very lucky. It always just feels like it's too good to be true. You know, you just feel like how did I get this lucky? But I love what I do. And making telly, we did obviously the Bad Boyfriends, the dating show. And it was, hosting in that way was like another level of hosting for me. And I would like to remain to be part of Loose and be part of that culture and that family, but also, you know, continue to do stuff on my own is nice. It's like to have the best of both worlds. It's such a nice feeling.
Are you going to do anything in my world? You going to do anything in the beauty world?
In what sense?
I don't know. Like, you strike me as someone who would have their own brand of doing something.
You mean like in a product sense?
Yeah.
I mean, it would. Do you know what? It would doing a product or you know, some kind of brand has been obviously something we discussed in the background for like the last couple of years. It's something I probably at some point will do. It has to be so right. It has to be. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I'm so lucky to have this audience. They trust me. Yeah. I'm not gonna flog them shit. Like I can't do it. So I want, it has to be right, and two, like it has to be the time. And I feel like right now in development and telly, there's nothing else left. Like between that and the podcast, it's like there's no more hours in the week. And we have got
and a husband.
Shit, yeah. Who? God, poor guy. Like and honestly,
no, that's like me with mine. People are like, awful. When you're seeing Jim, I'm like, Tuesday week.
Awful, I know. Like the only time he really he only gets me like when I. That's going to sound really sexual when I get into bed. But yeah, it's like, you know, that's when we clock off. Like that's the only time, you know, it's just me and him. But yeah, he's lovely.
Beauty. What's your favourite treatment to have?
Oh, like results driven or just?
Both, either. What do you find you do the most? What do you do for results and what do you do to chill?
Okay, so results, it would be some kind of hydrofacial combined with Photofabulous. I just can't stop raving about this treatment. It's for me, it depends what your goals are. It's just incredible. It's what I did for my wedding and it's what I've continued to do afterwards. And it's, you know, that glass skin, I'm kind of sick of that thing. But if you're looking for the glass skin, that's the closest you're going to get to it. I mean, it's just incredible. And then for wellness, I try and do something like reflexology or like acupuncture. I bloody love
reflexology. Nothing makes me shut down.
I know, it's incredible.
Quicker than someone grabbing my feet.
I have to say, my therapist got me onto that because he was like, you have never been relaxed a day in your life, my angel, and we have got to do something about this. Because I was like, when I have a massage, like put my head in a hole and just have a general massage, I just literally, the lights go down and I replay every bad mistake I've ever made in my adult life in HD. And I said, so it just seems like
the fibres in the carpet.
So thank you. So I was like, it's a waste of my money and time. So he was like, you know, this route, but a reflexology, wow. It just tunes you out.
I'm like, gone.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, they tell you exactly what is wrong with your body.
And it's right.
Yeah, always
I don't care if anyone rolls their eyes. Like,
no.
People are a bit like, oh, whatever. No,
it's science.
Yeah, it's science.
It's just easy. What's your earliest memory of skincare and beauty?
I don't know. She'll forgive me for saying it, but no, it's just
oh God, go on. This is going to be good. I'm going to have a sip.
My mum used to like do all her lotions and potions in the evening, and like she was, on her arms. I remember, and then me and my sister used to rub our face on her arms because it used to smell so nice and feel so nice. And she'd go, "Get your grubby little faces off my," she'd put her tonics and her creams and everything on. And so that was the first sort of memory. And then I think Mum buying me, I think I'm very, very privileged, but Clinique or something like that. Yeah. She bought like the three-step.
Yep.
And it was like mine, and it was like in a little zip bag, and she was like, right, I think I don't know what age I was, but youngish, and she was like, this is yours now. You stop going into my bathroom and touching things. You wash your face with this, you put toner and moisturiser on. And it stands out in my memory.
What's your current skincare routine?
It's a little bit more invasive than Clinique. I prefer the medical grade stuff. I like ZO. Mm-hmm. Like I like ZO. I know for some people it doesn't work. For me, you just have to find the right bits. But it would be a vitamin C in the morning, some kind of serum, a heavier moisturiser. I'm on the dry side, so I like a really dewy, heavy moisturiser. And then in the evening, cleanse. Again, a serum and a night cream. But yeah. And I do a peel or a scrub every 2 or 3 days.
You don't go too heavy into it,
No,
then.
it's not silly. I see these people online and they're doing 15-step routines. I'm like, who's got the time?
Who has the time? Get it off my face.
Time? Yeah, so no, it's like, it's good stuff, but I keep it pretty simple.
Do you wish you had more time to do more, or do you manage to get everything done that you want to do in terms of treatments? Because I think, I wish I could do reflexology. I really need to go and get this done, and it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, I guess sometimes I feel a little bit like I've been dragged through a hedge backwards, which is hard as well when you're in an industry where it's like you need to not look like
you're constantly being judged.
You need to look pretty slick, but sometimes you feel like a foot. Do you know what it is more with the telly stuff? It's hard to schedule things, and again, it's like, you know, get your violin out, fucking hell. Oh my god, you can't schedule a facial, big fucking deal. But it's because there's oh my god, who's gonna play me in the movie? This week I couldn't get the fucking hydrofacial. Walking around looking like Shrek. But yeah, it's more like trying to get in their diary and my diary, and then you think you're in. And this is the thing with doing documentaries. When you are doing a documentary, your life is a documentary, because like the story is not you, the host. The story is the person. So if that person's like, okay, fine, you can come and watch my, labiaplasty at 2:00 on Wednesday, you're like, cancel everything. We're going to watch a labiaplasty. Do you know what I mean? So. Yeah, sometimes I wish, but also I'd rather be busy than...
That's not on your list of things to do, is it?
For me, no. We're all good down there, but we did a whole vagina episode on series 1 of Price of Perfection, yeah. I
just... it's not that it gives me the ick. It's more the pain side of it. I would be.
I know it's that, because when you hear it, I'm like squeezing my nunny now, like think. Do you know what I mean? It's like it just makes you go, ooh. But I mean, for some women, it's like life changing.
For sure. What was the best in terms of the results that you personally felt after you'd had it? What was the best procedure you've had done? So I had a bleph because my lacrimal glands had prolapsed, and they've done it again. They're both popping out again, so I have to have another one. That's why this is swollen and this is swollen. So I have to have another one.
Why does that happen?
Sneezing, giving birth, vomiting. Like they went, it could have been anything. And I'm like...
What, so you just pop them out?
You sneeze and they go through the muscle with such force. Yeah, it was probably childbirth. I mean, I had them done in like 2016 and they need doing again. Yeah. So my surgeon's like, this time I'm just going to fucking super glue them. I'm like, yes, please. Yes. And then I had my teeth done. And now when I say I would picture myself, I think, oh my God, why didn't I get my teeth done earlier? And when they said, what colour do you... Because I had veneers... What colour do you want? And I said, I want one shade darker than John Bon Jovi. I want the American teeth I was promised at birth and I never fucking got. Yes. That's what I want. I want to go smile and people go, Jesus. Yeah. Literally. I want you to be able to see me from Hadrian's Wall.
Yeah. I think teeth are up there. For me, I've got porcelain veneers, which I know everyone's kind of moving away from, and I wouldn't like, actively recommend anyone. Well, do I say that? Porcelain veneers are fine. The scaremongering around them is like, if you go to Turkey, they shave your teeth down to nothing, you're going to be in trouble and you could lose a tooth. Yeah. If you find a good dentist and they conservatively prep the teeth, you're going to be fine.
It was just prepped. It's like when they buff your nail before they put the nail on.
They don't. I think it's a misconception that your teeth need to be chiseled down. And that's not what it is. And the composite obviously is way more hard wearing than the porcelain is way more hard wearing than the composite. Yeah. So teeth, for me, the breast augmentation was a big one. The second one,
because you got them fixed.
Yeah, I had a revision. When I say fixed, the first ones, when there wasn't actually anything like technically wrong with them, they were just ridiculously big. They were like, I was like smuggling watermelons. It's just so silly. Like, that was just such a
But how old were you when you had them done?
Oh, God, like 21. Wow, yeah, I was young. It's really, like, young to do that. I felt, we're looking back on it, it's like I feel like sorry for my mum and my dad a little bit, because I haven't got kids yet, but it's like I already feel the heartache that I wouldn't want my daughter that doesn't exist yet to do that at such a young age. Yeah. So it's weird. It's weird when you get older, you start to see things differently, and but yeah, they were just too big. And then just basically, I've got very thin skin. Like being my type of skin is fine, and the weight of these implants, they just, oh my God, they were just vile. And one was under my armpit, and one was just vile. So I did a revision, and then I've touch wood, had no problems, and they don't cause me discomfort, and I like the way they look, and I like my body in swimwear, and it was always a big thing for me, the boobs. I was like,
really?
I had this
Were you not big boobed when you were younger?
Very flat-chested. My sister and mum had really full, unbelievable boobs.
The audacity.
I know.
Fucking bitches.
I fucking know. And my sister still has these boobs now. They're like memory foam. Like she's like in Ibiza.
How old is she?
Just a year younger than me.
Oh, she can piss off.
And people are like, oh, who did your boobs? And she's like, well,
my mum.
Yeah, they're mine. I was like, so I was always, you know, I always looked at these boobs and I was like, I need boobs. So it was always a thing for me. And again, it was something like I kind of built up in my own head, but I felt like I was meant to have them, you know?
Yeah.
It's weird. It's like, you know, I think people always try and make things really like demonized, and it was the culture and the patriarchy. It was just, I just like them.
Do you get much pushback if people only want to talk about like things you've had done? I just find it so reductive towards women because, you know, men have shit done, women have stuff done, but it's like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. So you get the pressure and you think, oh, I'm going to do this. And then they're like, well, what did you have that done for?
I know.
It's just so judgmental and I hate it. It's someone's, here's my theory. If you are pro-choice, then you should be pro whatever a woman wants to do to herself. Leave them alone. Why do you care, Daily Mail? Why do you care?
The problem is, like you say, and it's like this paradox you're like stuck in, and I battle with it myself, that, you know, when people look impossibly good and they don't discuss anything, we're not owed anyone's medical details, right? Yeah. But if you're an actor or a host or whatever, and you tell, like you say, a journalist, okay, I did, you know, a facelift, whatever you try and promote for the next 10 years or whatever amazing thing you achieve, they are not going to give a shit about anything else than the fact you had a facelift 5 years ago. Yeah. So I understand. And then also you're going to have the onslaught of people going, why? Like, you look awful and all the rest of it. So I understand why people then keep the information to themselves, because we kind of scream for honesty, but then when people give it, we abuse it. So it's like,
or
what
if you give an opinion, God forbid.
God forbid. Yeah. So it's, you know, it's a difficult one. And I think I just don't like it when people do stuff and then they claim it was a cream or a workout. That really fucking jars me. But if you want to do things and keep it to yourself, I think it's your own. But don't pretend it's something else. Don't try and sell us.
There was a lot of fresh-faced people after the pandemic. Hollywood, the amount of people that went to Hollywood and got their faces done, and all power to them, but don't pretend like you were just working out for 2 years while the world was in lockdown.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're in the industry as well, because like, you know, you have gossip, we have gossip, facialists, hairdressers, manicurists.
They see it all.
We know everything. We know where the bodies are buried. We know where parts of the bodies have come off. So when you see someone, they look great and you're like, you know, it's not our business. But it's, well, like you say, when people pretend they've had nothing done. Like when they say they don't have a nanny, they don't have a cleaner, they don't have a driver. I'm like, you're a fucking liar.
And I think that is setting up women to fail, right?
Always. It's not supportive in any way.
No, it's not. I had a really open conversation with Chloe Maidey on my podcast when she spoke about having a nanny and whatever. And, you know, she was like, I couldn't go to the gym for 2 hours and do my PT business if I didn't. And I was like, fair fucking play, because there's so many people, mums who are, you know, in the industry, influencers, who I know have help, but then they do the kind of the fake martyr thing with but then you're like, but how could you be there and whatever? And I was reading the comments under the post we posted for her episode, and these other women are like
always
coming
other women.
For her.
It's always other women.
That's bullshit. You could do it all without a nanny.
How would you
she's
know
literally
that?
telling you, like scientifically, she's raised like a single mum now, or you're separated. It's like, how can she be in the gym for 2.5? But I think what a lot of people do is they have a parent who does what a nanny does, but say they have no help. Yeah. You do have help. You just don't pay them. Like, it's still help. Yeah. The same with people, you know, that have cleaners and PAs and whatever. It's like, where's the shame in admitting that you need people to, you know, to run these operations?
When I do my Instagram Q&As, which are always fairly entertaining,
I can imagine.
But someone said, do you have a cleaner? And I put, fuck yes.
Yeah.
God, yes. Yeah. With my lads, Jesus, I'd be in jail for killing them. Yes, I have, of course. I love her. I would miss her more than my husband if she left me.
But also, I feel that...
Sorry, I do love you a lot, Jim. And also my son edits this. That could be a problem. Although Max is used to it. But Jim would feel the same. He'd be like, is Rose coming? I'm like, it's all good.
But also, like, you know... You are a successful businesswoman. You've got a lot of shit going on. It would be counterintuitive for you to spend time cleaning when you could be. And it's not that you
still do it.
Not that
I just don't do all of it.
Yeah, not that you're too good for it. Or
no.
It's like it's about delegating tasks. That's how you have a successful life. Is by delegating tasks to people that them, you know, do
frees
these,
you up
you
to
can
do something
shit.
else.
So whether that's a nanny or a cleaner or whatever, it's like, what's the shame in that? I don't get it.
I think it's one of those things where we're supposed to downplay our successes and not talk about this and that. And I just think it's utter bullshit. You know, if I'm running a multi-million-pound business, that's the reality. Yeah. I work all the hours God sends. You know, when it's my days in the office, I'm there until the last. I'm there after everyone else is gone. You know, I'm not playing here. No. You know, so if I don't have time to do that, I want to make sure that my house is taken care of. So I pay someone to do that.
And it just makes sense.
But, you know, but no one ever fucking asks a man, oh, you got a cleaner? How do you do it all? How do you do it all? That and gratitude journals. Yeah. Do you keep a gratitude journal? No, I fucking don't. Ask a man that.
No, I know.
Why?
Yeah.
Every single gratitude journal, not one is made for a man. They're all pink. They've got flowers. My gratitude journal. Fuck you. I don't need you to tell me I'm grateful. What? On what planet?
What colour's
do you think
yours?
my husband ever gets up and goes, do you know what I need today, love? A gratitude journal.
I know.
I'd have him down the... I'd be like, you need to go and see someone.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
I'm so sick of the double standards around women and what we should and shouldn't do. You know, Nigella Lawson said this thing where she said, you can be 2 out of 3 things brilliantly at any one time. Wife, mother, business person, like work. So you might be killing it at home with the kids and the husband, but your work will suffer because you're not there. Yeah. Or you're killing it at work, you make sure you've got time for your babies, but your husband never sees you.
Yeah.
And that's so true.
Yeah.
The thing we can have it all is bullshit. We have it all to do, and how we choose to delegate what we're doing is really the message women should be giving other women and supporting.
100%.
And it's always that bastard on Instagram who says, be kind in their bio. That's a twat.
Oh my God,
always
please,
be kind.
Please.
And I look at their bio and I think, all you do is troll people. Please don't. Go for it.
Most soul-sucking individuals that you say, all praise God.
Oh, yeah. Christ is my leader. Really? Well, it needs to be your conscience before you go after Jesus.
Christ don't want to know you. He ain't answering the phone, girl.
No.
After that Instagram
you got a long way to go before you
you're-
get to St. Peter's, mate. Jesus.
You are not. Yeah, you are not in his fan club. No, you're so right. And in terms of that, in that rhetoric, it's like obviously the narrative and the questions I get around child, you know, having a child, being a mother.
Mind your business.
Mind your business. But also it's like, I've been really open about saying that it's like right now, it's not an accident. Like, it's not like I could be trying to get pregnant, right? And then you're invading on this thing that could be really painful.
It could be
for me.
really hard. You just don't know.
But I've been really open and said, I'm actively choosing right now to completely indulge myself in my work and my husband.
Good for you.
That's it. There isn't actually space at the table right now, emotionally, spiritually, my heart, whatever, for that third thing. So it's a very conscious decision that we have made as a couple right now. But people just don't like it. They just don't want to hear it. They're like, oh, but you know, but I'm just telling you the truth that no one ever really wants to say that because they're scared to say it.
I'm so sick of the judgment, you know. Yeah. I knew I wanted 2 kids when I was young and I didn't expect to have the later 2. But then I knew in the pit of my gut, I wanted more babies. Yeah. But my best mate never wanted kids, would have got sterilised at 19 if she could. Like, genuinely. And she was just like, I don't want them. Yeah. She loves my kids. She loves her niece. That's it. But she knew. But people treat women as if they don't know their own mind.
I know.
You know, oh, but you'll be sorry. No, you won't. Kids, once you have a kid, it changes every single thing in your life. Yeah. Everything. And anyone telling you different is a liar. Yeah. It changes your body. It changes your brain. It changes your relationship with your husband. It changes the time you've got, you know. What's the most overrated treatment you think you've had done, just for you personally? Like, I've had oil therapy, it did nothing. I had it here, it did nothing. Yeah. They said I had some cool sculpting, it did nothing.
It would be one of the energy-based devices. I've literally tried so many, but I'm trying to think of ones.
Essentially, if you stick to like high frequency, Potenza, which is a step up from Morpheus, where you're going to penetrate the skin, do something and sort of stimulate collagen, you're good.
It's going to be, it'll be one of those external, penetrative.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of microdermabrasion.
Not big.
I'm like, I can do that myself, mate.
Yeah.
I don't need you to spray the sidewalk. I'm good.
And I've never liked derma rolling or anything like that. But
do you like the derma pen though? That's different.
Yes, I like derma pen. I like anything that kind of breaks the surface properly.
Yeah, but the roller is too problematic for me because it.
Do you think?
Well, the reason we don't use rollers that much anymore, we use a pen, is because the pen stabs and the roller, when it rolls over, it's like a lawnmower and it pulls the skin up behind it.
Oh.
So eventually you get too many micro channels, too many tears in the skin, and it becomes an aggravation.
Okay.
So rather than just being your skin will then repair and you'll get the growth and da-da-da-da-da, it becomes more of a, you're causing damage.
Yeah.
We have more sophisticated means now.
Yes.
That's the best way to put it.
I mean, and what some of those energy-based devices, I think are...
Just a bit. Do you do anything?
I think it's they're not for me. I think that's you have to find your machine and your and it's actually targeted to the result you want. Sometimes you think you're trying something because it's new and it's all fancy and the marketing's great, but what are you actually looking for? What's the result?
But also you need to go more than once.
Yes,
that's the thing. People save up, they go for once, and because it doesn't work, they don't go. I'm just
sitting here in a vortex. The boobs and the teeth weren't the best thing I did. It was the jaw tight.
Okay.
It was the liposuction and the jaw tight. That was the best thing I ever did on my jaw. Yes, because I was just.
What did it do to give you definition?
I had like the worst double chin all my life, like from my dad's side of the family, like a really kind of short, sunken back jaw.
Right.
It bothered me so much. Yeah, I did that about 4 years ago.
And how did they do that? What was the procedure?
Like a cut in here, tiny liposuction rod. And then they just go back and forth. You're numb, and they just suck it all out, and then they tighten it with the internal radio frequency. So
I love a bit of radio frequency as the dog's bollocks.
So clever.
It's so good.
Clever.
So good.
That was probably the best thing I've done.
Oh, there you go. But you don't look like you've had loads done. I mean, if you were doing research, you would think that you had a lot done, but you don't look like it at all.
But this is the problem, isn't it? When you admit to a couple of things, I've spoke about lip fillers, and I've done my teeth, and they sort of then paint you as like the Bride of Frankenstein. Do you know what I mean?
And it becomes something to focus on rather than your talent.
Yeah, and it becomes bigger than what it is. And it's like you say, it's not like I've had a full face transplant. It's like, it's little bits and bobs, but yeah.
I mean, we call them tweakments for a reason.
Tweakments, yeah.
For a reason.
Also, I just looked really fucking shit a while ago because of the hair and the makeup was so bad. And I think that sounds like the biggest cop-out ever, but the way that changes your face, when you've got white hair, black eyebrows, like 2 packs of lashes on,
Please don't talk to me about lashes. This lot know I used to do fake lashes. I would have them, I'd have my lashes done. Yeah. But then I got a bit addicted.
Okay.
And I did look like I'd caught 2 butterflies on my face.
Lash blindness.
And that was when the one time in our 35 years my husband has gone, so you need those lashes now. That's all he said. And I went, what's wrong with them? I'm like this. Meanwhile, I'm like this. Literally.
And he's in the draft.
They were horrendous. And then COVID happened. And of course, I couldn't have them done. Oh my God, it was so freeing. But I felt naked. And it took ages for them to grow back again. But never again. Oh. Never again for me.
A week into COVID or 2 weeks into the proper lockdown, it was literally like a scene from a horror movie. Like I'm in the bedroom. I'm like, don't look at me. Like trying to get the acrylic nails off with my own little drill that I bought from Amazon. The roots are like this. The Botox worn off. I'm like this in the corner, like Gollum. Brad's like, oh my God, what's happening to you? I'm like, I'm decomposing. Don't look at me. Yeah.
When it was all lifted, Josh Wood PR messaged me and they said, look, we want to promote that the salon's open. Can you come in at midnight? They forgot, of course. I hadn't had my hair done it was months and months and months. And I'm very grey. Yeah. And my hair's normally dark. Yeah. So my hair was a mixture of dark, grey, blonde at the ends. I looked like a dog that had been dyed and it had gone wrong. And so we were there till 5 a.m.
Doing your hair?
Doing my hair.
That's so
and I was like, at 4 a.m. when we were all like this, I was like, well, it seemed like a good idea at the time.
That's so funny.
And the PR stand there going, no, it's absolutely fine, Charlotte Fielder. She's like this. It's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. I was like, do you want a coffee, love? She was like, no, it's fine. And the colourist is like, Jesus Christ. But I think it was good for them because everyone who would have come through the door after me would be the same. You can't book in for 40 minutes to do your colour when you haven't had it done in 8-9 months.
No. But it was amazing. Was your hair amazing though? After not having colour?
Fucking no.
My hair was like, having that break from colour, my hair was like the best it's ever been.
Yeah, but you've already got young hair. My hair was like, help me.
Help me.
My hair was decomposing and it was like, grey. It looked like salt and pepper had been squished together in a big turd.
Oh my God, that's fun.
I was like, what is going on with my hair? My lashes fell off, my nails were gone. I was like, what do I actually look like? Who am I?
It was humbling. And I really just admitted to myself, and I was like, I am a high maintenance gal, and I love it. And I don't want to pretend ever that I'm not.
No apology. I am unapologetically,
No.
it is what it is. And it's not high maintenance, it's just my maintenance.
Yes.
And if you don't like it, fuck you very much.
Yeah.
Out of products that you have at home, if your bathroom cabinet's on fire,
Oh gosh.
what are you saving?
Any like the high quality night cream, like I love at the moment SkinCeuticals, like AEG Refactor or something like that. Because my skin is dry and I need like a thick face cream. Just even when people go, oh no, you use serums and whatever, and I do use serums, but I like the feeling of a heavy cream.
You're going to love our Rich Moisturiser.
Oh yeah, that's how that.
I've got a whole bag full of stuff for you.
Yes.
You're going to be carrying it home like, my God.
Yeah, diving in. I mean, it's skincare, just love it. So yeah, it's something like that would be what I grab. Or tan, which is not skincare.
Yeah, what tan do you like?
Tan. I jump around a little bit, but at my heart, I'm a Bondzie Sands gal.
Right.
I always go back to it, you know.
Good Aussie brand. Also great SPFs, Bondzie Sands.
Good SPFs. It's a good tan. It never really lets you down. And I do the mousse. I do it on my face, and because I just don't do the sun anymore.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. I really don't, and I don't want to look sickly like a Victorian ghost.
Yeah.
Some people can rock being pale, and I love it.
I'm not one of them.
And I sometimes look at people on the red carpet, and I'm like, okay, she's doing this pale skin. I could do that. I just wouldn't look like it. Everyone would just think that I was near my time.
I say two things. I have time. The time for me to look pale and matte is in my coffin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seriously, I've seen people in a coffin. My nana had a glow her whole life. In a coffin, not so much. Right? She wouldn't mind me saying that. And when Mum and I went to see my nana in a coffin, we also had to fix the lipstick because the undertaker had put on talk about ick, the coral frosted, and they left it on the side, and it's obviously they use the same one in every dead woman. So I went, Mum, give me a tissue, and my mum had already seen her when she passed away, and I hadn't.
Okay.
So I'm in the shock already because it was like me, my mum, my nan, all tight, you know, only daughter, like. And I went, Mum, give me a tissue. And I spit shined my nana's dead face. I went, give me a lippy.
Wow.
Loncombe number 47. Give me a lippy. She was like, oh, God, yes. Put it on. And then we had a cup of tea standing next to her. I was like, I cannot send my nana into the afterlife because she was a Roman Catholic. She will absolutely believe she's there or coming back with a frosted coral. Horrendous.
Was it like an open casket situation? Okay, she needs to
not at the funeral, just for us, but that was bad enough. I went, you go in. It sounds terrible. You go in. I'm sorry, I'm not going to give you a trigger warning because there's no trigger warning for life. I'm sorry, life doesn't come with a trigger warning in real life.
No, it does not.
You go in, and they say, so just to warn you, the coffin is in the corner, and the coffin is open, and I'm half like okay, and half like I'm not going to believe she's dead until I see her. Yeah. On the sad side, I walked in, and as we got closer, I never swear in front of my mum. Never used to swear in front of Mum ever. She was, very ladylike, not like the disaster that happened when she had me. And I walked towards the coffin and I went, what the fuck is that on her face? And Mum was so shocked at both seeing her, me saying the F word, and then seeing her face. She went, huh! And that's why I was like, give tissue. Oh my God. Genuinely bizarre, but actually felt like a completely normal thing to do.
Yeah.
She has to look like herself.
It's kind of like it's like a horrifying story, but kind of wholesome.
Yeah, totally wholesome. It's cup of tea, and then we went into my favourite, like in Steel Magnolias, where she says my favourite emotion is crying until you laugh or laughter through tears, and that's what we did. Stood at the side with a cup of tea, then went into hysterics. I'm like, did I just literally clean her dead face? I was like, sorry, Nana, as if she was alive. My mum would be like, oh God, and I'm like, Mum, with that lipstick, look at it, it's horrendous. We should bin it so no other poor dead woman has to deal with this.
And then what about the lipstick that you put on her? Did you keep it?
Oh yeah. Mum probably used it. It's Loncombe, babes. It's not cheap. Do you know what I mean?
She's like, give that. I need to top mine up.
Yeah, literally. But yes, okay. So let's do makeup then. If you can only wear one item of makeup for the rest of your life, what's it going to be?
Some kind of tinted moisturiser. I do like a base, something to just kind of even everything out. It's that or a lip gloss.
I love a lip gloss.
I always cheat on these things because you're meant to ask one and I never do.
But it's impossible if you really love it. It's like saying, one final meal. There's a reason they say starter, main, dessert.
The thing with makeup is that I feel like a lot of things... A completely naked face with mascara, I think, looks a bit strange. A completely naked face with a full brow. It's like you need more than one. I do like a lip gloss or something on the lips. I don't like a dry matte lip.
No, again,
matte lip.
dead.
So crusty lips coming towards you. No, please.
Like, hello, dear.
Oh, vile.
No, sorry. So bad.
Dusty.
Literally in the case of a nan in a coffin.
I can't stand it. Yeah. It's kind of on its way out now, I think, the matte lip trend, but I never liked it.
No, I don't do anything matte.
No.
Nothing. Glow, glow. I want you to see me shining from across the street.
Yeah, because I don't think
you look oily. Thank you.
I'm thriving.
Thank you.
I'm alive.
My skin is lubricated. Praise Jesus. What are you never without? So is there like a fragrance that you always go back to? Or in terms of beauty and skincare, what are you never without? If it runs out, you're like, shit, I need to order that now. Or I need to go and get it now.
I've always, in my bathroom for the last 10 years, had the Kiehl's body moisturiser.
Really?
You're the big orange,
the yellow
orange.
One. Yeah, creme de
I've
cour.
never, I can't remember the last time I didn't have one in my bathroom, genuinely. It's my favourite, because like with my face, my body, I'm the same. Like the people that get out of the shower and just put their clothes on, don't moisturise.
What's wrong with you? How do you do that?
Oh, God, that gives my hairs in the back of my neck stand up. It's my favourite.
It's like cheese grater legs.
Yeah.
How can you not moisturise from head to toe?
It's just, I just couldn't. And so I jump around with face stuff and hair stuff and whatever, but that is a real staple that's always been there. Yeah,
if I don't have body moisturiser, I'm not getting dressed.
No, it's horrible.
And it's not anything to do with money. I use like Garnier body repair. It's like
whatever.
£3. But I have to be lubricated.
Yeah, in it, like, it's not the same. It's like in like a bind, I've like gone head to toe with a hands moisturiser
Whatever you
for
have
a
to
bathroom. Yeah, like I have to put something on my skin before I put my clothes on. It's just horrible.
I can't do it.
No.
As we move towards the end, before we get to listeners' questions, which I think is going to be very entertaining based on our chat, do you have any burning question for me? She's like, no, actually, you've just laid it all out. You've talked about your dead nan. Where is there to go?
I know so many things about you against my will. It's like, I don't know where I could possibly go.
Against my will. Who will play me in the movie? That's like a stalker now, but I read a chat you did about a year ago. It's about influencers and influencing. Oh, yeah. And I was going to say, your daughter's big on TikTok. Yes.
Since her having that growth online, has it changed the way you view that job and that sort of side of things? No. No,
because she's very... I mean, the important thing is her success is 100% down to her because she's on TikTok. I've got like 40,000 followers on TikTok. Yeah. I'm very rarely on there. If I'm on there, I look at you, Ava, something funny Liv sends me. I'm just not in the TikTok zone. Instagram was always my platform. Yeah. So the fact that she's got the following she has and that I'm seen as Ava Hirons' mum on TikTok, I love it. I find it endlessly hysterical. She put a picture of us up together and no, she was pranked. And I put underneath, babe, even I knew this was a prank because she fell for it and she posted it. And underneath my comment, because I have a blue tick, underneath my comment, some young lad had put, wow, TikTok be endorsing anyone these days. And I was like... cut me deep.
Like, I've been in this game before you could even walk, honey.
It's like you cut me deep, Shrek. You know, and you're just like, but I actually find it entertaining. So now I changed my bio to founder of this, wrote books, da-da-da. And then I put on here, Ava Hirons' mum. Embrace it. Yeah. I'm very proud of her. She's amazing. She's brilliant at what she does.
And so, your stuff is so different.
Oh, completely.
Like, it's not like, you know, it's a carbon copy of what it's like the sketches and stuff she does.
Oh, no, she'll call me and go, Mum, that thing you just put up was shit, take it down. I'm like, well, it's got to look like, no, it's fucking embarrassing, take it down. I'm like...
Do you worry about her having that kind of platform, knowing what it can be like?
No, because she... I mean, when we had a situation where, as a family, we were facing trolling. Right. And that's when I took the babies off social media. Got it. So the grandchildren came off. Anything that... I mean, I'd always taken care of the kids in terms of if they didn't want me to post it, I wouldn't. And even if I'd posted something in fun and they didn't like it, it was usually Ava. I hate that picture, take it off. Done, immediately. Not even a question. But when we were all trolled as like a family effort and I had to get lawyers involved. Sure. Oh, I'd fucking bring my lawyers, mate. I call them reassuringly expensive. You can say what you want about me, but if you fuck around with my kids or my grandkids, just know that to my dying breath, I'll be going, I'm coming back for you. Yeah. Like literally. And so we handled it. So all the big mouthy, oh no, we've got a right to keep it up. No, you didn't know, did you? Because you took it down, motherfucker.
And did you find out who they were?
Well, we found out who few of them were, yeah. And they're people that we knew when the kids were little.
Weirdos.
Absolute freaks. But the joy of it is, like we said vaguely, when there is the odd person that you recognise and you message them because you can still contact that person, and then they shit the bed.
Because they realise, fuck.
And you tell them exactly what you're going to do to them when you see them. That's lovely.
Yeah.
That makes it all worthwhile. And what it also does is reinforce that they're just normal, sad people at home. There's no big ghost trolling you online. There's no big organisation. It's just some sad fucker at home, usually in their mum's basement. Yeah. Miserable, you know, ordering another pizza and thinking, oh, I'm just going to troll again. Denise always talks so funnily. She says when she and Lincoln are bored, they read Daily Mail comments.
I don't mind Daily Mail comments.
There's only so many times, because obviously my sort of online profile, and with Ava growing up with it, she sort of grew up with me having an online profile, but it happened when I was perimenopausal. There are pictures of me online where I think, Jesus fucking Christ, how did Jim even look at me naked? I mean, it's horrendous. But there's only so many times. It's like, what are you going to do? Like Stacey Solomon says, what are you going to do? Say I've got a big nose? Do you think I didn't hear that growing up with my sister? Yeah. You know, that's what it's like. What are you going to do? Call me a fat hoe? Yeah. Like, oh, less of the fat. You know, it's like, it's just like, I don't give a shit about your opinion about me. No. So fuck you. Yeah. And Ava's very much inherited that now. I was a bit worried when she was sort of in the late teens. If this had happened, success had happened for her when she was younger, I'd be overarching, like much more sort of necking to see, like, are we okay?
To make sure
she's fine. She's got her head switched on, you know, she knows what, she'd ask me questions if there's a job she doesn't know. She's got great management. They take care of her.
That's good.
So she's good. Yeah. She's loving life. But who knew that I would be Ava Hirons' mum?
Oh, that's mad, isn't it?
Ava Hirons' mum.
You never know, do you? Look at you.
Did a photo shoot a couple of weeks ago with a lad who was like 18. And she was the screensaver on my phone. And he saw my phone and he went, and obviously the cogs turned and he went, are you Ava Hirons' mum? And you're like, and I went, yeah. And he went, oh my days, how cool is that? And I was like, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I also got a few things going on myself, but you know, so no big deal.
No big deal. Like 2 bestsellers, it's fine. You know, multi-million-pound business, but it's whatever. And he's like, you're Ava's mum. I'm like, Jesus Christ, yeah. But it's the funniest bit has been for us, especially on season 2. People come in, and if I haven't met them before, they go, I love your daughter.
Yeah, it's nice. It must be nice though.
No, it's lovely.
So proud.
It's lovely because 15 to 18, she nearly didn't make it. Yeah. Not because she was ill, because I was going to kill her. I don't mean it like, oh no, she was in children's hospital.
But you were like, you're going to...
No, I was going to put her in children's hospital.
Her, yeah.
Yes. Like, horrendous.
Yeah.
Horrendous.
I feel like my mum went through this.
Well, because her teenage horrendous years happened when I was perimenopausal. And her poor brothers and my husband, they must have been like, Jesus, these women, what is happening?
Yes,
I mean, screaming at each other, which I'd never done with the boys. The boys, I'm like, oi, homework. Oh, sorry, mum. Yeah. Or, you know, they don't. But they don't then go to town giving you strict details and a thesis about why they're not going to do their homework, because I didn't know. I mean, there's no surprise that out of our entire family, Ava was the first diagnosed with ADHD. No, she came out talking. Yeah. 3 pushes, 10-pound baby. 3 pushes. She walked out of me going, right, let's get this show on the road, stitch her up, I've got places to go. Like literally from day 1, she was in charge. That's so funny. And is still in charge as far as my husband's concerned, you know. That's so funny, like the difference between the personalities. Girls in the teenage years, it's like my mum always describes it. I went to bed one night and I came down and she was like, it's like the Antichrist had like possessed your body. That's what my mum said. And like you just looked at your dad and you just went, no. He said something, I was like, don't ask you to speak. Like you just turned and he was like, oh my God, what's happened to it? Yeah. It's evil. Yeah. And then then you like you say, that period, and then my mum says, then they come back to you. My mum said, I came home from school one day. In the back door, she went, hello, love, you have a good day? I slammed the door and said, I hate you. I've got the most stupid name. I'm changing my name to Julie. Why Julie? I have no idea. But you're glad you didn't do that now. No, I'm very happy with the name Caroline. And she just went, right, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of... Do you want some Dilla Julie? So no, I worry about Ava as you would a 22-year-old. Yeah. But I don't worry about her online because she's extremely clued up. Yeah. Like even if I say something, she'll go, don't say that online. So she knows that, she knows how to take care of herself. It's good. Well, thanks, love. I don't even know where we went off on one tangents. I mean, what was the point in having notes? We're just like, yeah.
It's great.
What a pleasure.
I loved it.
Episode 1, not much pressure for everyone else.
Well, I hope so.
Olivia
Feel the pressure.
Attwood, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.